Good evening, my friend Spanky and Richie.
Wow! Ang lakas ng boses mo ah.
Sorry.
Galing ba sa ano yun? Sa
with
speaker
gusto.
or nawala ka? Nawala yung mic? Sandali. Okay. I can hear you now.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Kamusta, bro?
I'm good. I just had a really good dinner.
Saan ka galing?
Actually, dami. Parang lumalabas ako once a day eh. Pero ano yan, para akong SEAL, Navy SEAL. Yung mga lakad ko, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, in and out.
Pero vaccinated ka na?
Hindi pa eh. You know what happened? We were waiting. So I registered over a month ago. I think start of April or end of March sa Manila. For some reason, bumagal ang dating ng vaccine.
Okay.
So bumagal yung pila.
Mm-hmm.
Ngayon, sabi ng mga doktor, parang gumawa ka ng medical certificate. Wala naman nung alam na, hindi ka ba may comorbidity ka?
Well, yan ang pinag-uusapan namin ni Rine eh. So sabi ko kaya obese ako, baka hindi sila maniwala.
Puta, sabi ni Ed.
Hindi ko maniniwala sila.
Para si Ed yata yun ang ginawa eh.
Pinag-usapan namin ni Ed.
We're talking about Chef Ed Bugia. So, we believe that he just said, I'm obese. I don't know if it's serious. I'm obese and then sabi na, sige, okay, di pa bakuna ka na. Parang ganun nangyari.
Well, ang nangyari is I'm right now, passing ako. I'm waiting for yung yung si Mayor Vico to send us the text. Sorry, I'm just fixing my light.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yun. Oops.
Is your light good?
Provided by One Gadget, as you can see in the back. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, One Gadget, for the ring light.
For sponsoring our episode.
I know, may sponsoring na tayo. Big time na tayo.
Pare, sponsoring our season.
Oo.
Wala kami mga gamit eh.
Okay.
Pare, which mic is bigger? Is mine bigger than yours? Huh?
Parang mas maganda sa'yo. I'm starting to have mic envy.
Pare, ganyan talaga yan. May mga, ano ba tong black na to? Panglaway to, di ba? Kita mo?
Pang ano yan? Spit guard ba yun?
Spit guard ba tawag dito? Oh, man. Yeah,
but waiting.
Well, thank you, Richard. Always here with us.
Always.
Huwag ka magsawa, ha? Yan. Sige.
Chong, so nagmowa ka nung Tuesday? That's why we had to move. Mowa ba?
Yeah, nag-shooting kami sa MOA kasi ang ganda ng ginawa nila sa MOA. Yung Vikings has a function area which used to be mainly for events.
Yeah.
Now, Vikings ang tawag doon. Si Raquel nag-imbita sa atin doon. Yun, yung Vikings venue, yun yung ginawa nila main restaurant ngayon. Then you've got this beautiful view of the bay as the sun sets, golden hour and all of these things. Tapos meron kang bay walk and it's full of people. Grabe. Nagugulat ako. And
what happened to the old Vikings?
Sarado pa yung pinaka-main restaurant. So we're using the Vikings venue as the main restaurant for now.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Kasi may pintuan siya papunta doon sa Baywalk eh. Yung pinaka-main, wala siyang pintuan, wala siyang backdoor to the Baywalk. Ang ganda, Sus Mariosep. Medyo...
sorry, Fax. Give me a minute. I'm having technical difficulties. My wife is complaining about my microphone. I just have to I'll just double check it lang sandali.
Okay. So how's my sound level? Is it okay?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Sige.
Because Jill said, let's talk about Jill and the Food Scout and Oliver.
Actually, the reason why is because ang sinasabi ni Rina, because your microphone is from One Gadget and mine is just from Shopee. Ang sinasabi, nasasapawan raw yung ganda ng voice mo compared to mine. So,
Nonoy Zuniga.
Wow. Bet, ikaw ba yan?
I'll never say goodbye. Ano pa ba ng millennial yung I'll never say goodbye? Sus Mariosep. No matter how I try. Hindi nila naman.
Okay.
No, I wanted to talk about thank you, Jill. And everyone, behind us, we have our One Gadget signages. And if you want the best deals, and ako, pare, hindi lang yung best deals at best products. Pare, best service. Diba? Magaling talaga sila. Diba? I really like it. I purchased from them some stuff for my camera. Hassle-free lagi. Magaling yun, no? Pare, magaling training ni Jill at Mr. O sa kanilang customer service. Ang galing. Mabilis, efficient, marespeto, magandang PR, di ba? Mag-isarap sila kausap. Pag sabihin nila, dito darating. Galing. Tapos may, sir, nakuha niyo na ba? Oh, kaya lang, hindi ko alam gamitin. From the, if you look at, they can't help you there. Masyado dito na yung problema mo. But, from the selection that they have, all the way down to the customer service of sending and yung mga ganon, I can say very like top, excellent talaga. Si Luke yata was the name ng kausap ko. The guy is a good find. He's a good he's a Jedi. He's always a good guy, yeah. Luke is a Jedi. I just wanna can I use the word flex? Because I don't really use the word flex. But look at this. It's such a beautiful box. It's a beautiful box. Wow. See, I should have ordered from One Gadget because this came in para mag-order ka na ulit kasi this came in a supot. Para ito na, iinggitin lang kita para flex ko pa. So nung ako itong box, sabi, buta, bigat nito pare, ang ganda. Itong nasa loob, ito yung nasa loob. My God. Pwede kong gamitin this was inside the box. Oh, nice. What is it? It's an aluminum case. Wow. So I can go anywhere. Diba? I can smuggle whatever, but I can fit in my whole microphone here. It's beautiful. Sturdy box. Pwedeng hand carry. And this is what's inside. And that's why it sounds so good tonight, like Rick Astley. When I fall in love. Boses pang romansa. Pare, idol ko si Abet. Stony Bert Lim So sana makinig siya para pagkakantahin ko siya. Be My Lady naman yung pambato lagi ni Abet. Yeah. When we have our first guest, dapat si Abet kasi papakantahin natin siya. Ayan, sige. Diba? Best ballads. Yes. Tama. Pwede nating sige, pwedeng next week kasi next week dapat pag-usapan natin yung NBA play-in, pare. Kamusta naman ang Lakers mo? Well, 3 in a row, but it's a ridiculous. I don't understand what's going on. They don't have players. Caruso got injured. But they're like kanina, they beat Houston by 2 points. Wala ka na magagawa. Pare puro na yun latak team di ba? Hindi naman latak team, pero parang it's like a jigsaw puzzle. They haven't really fit in all the pieces yet. I honestly felt that they should not have gotten rid of Dwight and JaVale. I honestly feel that I felt that Gasol was on his last legs already. And yes, he has the high IQ, but hindi siya rim protector the way that Dwight and JaVale were rim protectors. And all you need naman is... Hindi naglaro si Gasol kanina, bakit? DNP lang. Coach decision. I don't know. But pero si Drummond, the past 2 games, magandang laro. At least. Diba? At least. Yeah. But gelling now with LeBron and AD before the playoff starts. Wala, it's good there. It's hit the ground running sila. Yeah. You have to find a way to gel. Well, let's see. But that Donovan Mitchell is coming back at the start of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's one. Same thing. Kanina naglaro na si Harden, pero wala naman si Irving. Ako, I'm looking forward to Brooklyn, di ba? Parang all roads point to Brooklyn.
Yeah. I honestly, prior to the injuries of AD and LeBron, I really felt it was gonna be Brooklyn Lakers finals. Yeah. Pero now I'm kind of as much as I'm a Laker fan, I'm really nervous. Because they look so
we should be, but what I want to happen in the East, gusto ko pare dalang yabang ni Embiid, di ba?
Yeah.
I want him to bring his mouth to the finals.
Yeah.
I don't want him crying like the way Kawhi made him cry 2 years ago. Di ba? Oh God! He made a shot. Ang yabang-yabang mo MVP ka, defensive player of the year. Sana, sige, umabot ka sa finals, then umabot yung Lakers sa finals, then let's bitch slap that stupid big mouth. Pero I don't know.
I just think that it's hard because this is the year that medyo LeBron is showing na his age finally. Diba? Finally, because he's looking more important.
2 years ago, that's why we didn't make the finals.
Yeah,
diba?
Yeah.
He
but
got injured.
They shut him down, diba? They shut him down and rightfully so, because it was a lost season anyway, diba?
Yeah,
it was already a lost season. But everyone kept saying na parang, but that's the thing after they shut him down, he came back. LeBron pa rin.
Pare, to? I think this is all just load management.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping for. That's exactly what I'm hoping for.
Feeling ko ito. Tinanggap niya na yung pagka number 7 nila. He's going to go in the play-in because you do the math. Wala naman sila Sa Portland, they won the season series. Dallas won the season series. So regardless of what happens, they're going to be in the play-in.
It looks like it's going to be GSW. Sila ba yung
number 8?
GSW?
Yeah. Tapos kung number 8 ang GSW, number 1 ang Utah, pare kaya nang upakan yung Utah.
Kaya.
I hate Utah. I hate that fucking
I hate Joe Ingles. I don't like Joe Ingles.
Pare, alam mo ba't we hate them? Pare, ang papangit ng Utah players. They are the least
medyo choppy ka, bro.
Intelligent. Diba? Tapos si okay. Internet connection at my mic. So, Ingles is ugly, di ba?
Okay, yeah.
Si Jordan Clarkson mukhang tiga-kanto
Tangkilikin, Pinoy yan.
Paano mukha siyang Pinoy na naglalaro sa
Kanto boy nga.
Sa Kanto boy.
Wala na nga, nakachinelas.
Diba, kasi he's getting so much playing time now, and Utah's now getting so much TV coverage, and fucking Jordan Clarkson is really good. Pero mukha talaga siyang larong bukid, di ba? Mukha siyang taong grasa. Ang pangit pa niya ngayon, di ba? Daming tattoo, tapos ang pangit. Mukha talaga siya nasa Summer League dito sa Kaling Oroquieta, para. I don't know. But he's really good. How's my signal? I think I'm feeling choppy. Nag-freeze ka.
No. You're okay now. Kanina medyo alanganin.
Alanganin naman talaga yung buhay ko. Para alanganin yung love life, alanganin lahat. Diba? Pero yun. So, next week, pag-usapan. Kasi next week yung play-in
Yeah.
So, that's going to be Thursday to Sunday next week, I think. So, I'm gonna cancel all my meetings from Thursday to Friday. Kunyari nasa Pampanga ako. But these will be excellent games. I can't wait for the play-in games, di ba? Anong gagawin nila? I don't know. It's gonna be... Actually, mas matindi yung play-in games sa East Dahil para masira ulo ni Westbrook. Di ba?
Isa pa yan, mayabang yung kay Westbrook Yung kay Westbrook. Isa pa yan
But the player that really annoys me the most is who's that defensive player of the year ng Utah, si
Gobert.
The French guy. Yan, si Gobert ang pinakayoko. Parang ayoko yung mukha niya, ayoko yung attitude niya. ayoko na magaling siya. Magaling siya di ba?
In fairness, for me, I think he has one of the best nicknames.
Ano bang
you know what his nickname is?
Ano?
The Stifle Tower. He was a Frenchman, di ba? Ganda, di ba?
Yeah. But hindi kasi ma-erase naka-imprint na sa akin yung ginawa niya sa mga microphone, di ba? I don't have COVID. In my mind, that's why the NBA season was canceled kaya nagkaroon ng global pandemic. He's my bête noire. He's my
poster boy talaga.
Bête noire.
He's the poster boy for He's the poster boy for how do you say it? The cavalier attitude of the Americans. Well, only he's French, no? Cavalier attitude of people.
He's the asshole. As my French, the asshole. But yeah, he's good. And
alam mo yan, Hancock yan, di ba? Hancock.
So I don't know, man. For me, he's the X factor. He can change the series. Siya talaga, di ba?
Especially if it depends on the matchup. Because Draymond is too. I mean, if number 1, number 8, if it's Draymond on him,
Draymond is playing like it was 2015. Remember
because
when
he has stepped back.
I love Draymond again. I hated Draymond when number 1 hate ko pa rin si Kevin Durant. 'Di ba? Oportunista, duwag, troll sa Twitter, ulul yan di ba?
Di ba cupcake?
Cupcake yan. So, pinaka-hate ko pa rin. Number 1 sa hate list ko si Durant, number 2 si Lea Soul. Number 3 si Embiid.
Ako Embiid and Westbrook. Those are the two. I can't figure out either.
Well, that's our topic for next week maybe. But I think we should move on kasi pare maraming gusto marinig tong topic natin this week. Ito na naman tayo, nawawala na naman tayo sa destination natin.
Kaya nga. So, for this week, we're going to be talking about what are your top 5 sitcoms of all time?
Of all time!
Of course.
This is a good topic.
But we cannot talk about it without doing a little blast from the past then. So,
of course,
we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane and talking about some other, some other, not just the recent ones, but from the past, such as Perfect Strangers. Guys, pasensya na kayo sa Photoshop skills ko.
It's so good. It's perfect.
So, I decided to
yun ang poster. Hindi kasi ganyan yung mukha ni Cousin Larry Di ba? Parang aburido si Cousin. Perfect na yung pinili.
Kaya nga.
Si Balky parang. Cousin Larry.
Miss Joanne Lim is joining us tonight. Miss Joanne, we were just talking about your husband na we're gonna be doing a best romantic ballad. Woo-hoo! Your favorite romantic ballad, and we wanted him to guest. Kung ano man yung mga pinili namin mga ballads, siya dapat ang perform.
Yeah, walang ibang guest dapat. Si Stony Bert, the heartthrob. And happy 18th anniversary belated to
Happy
Stony
18th
Bert
anniversary, Miss Joanne and Abbott Lim.
Yeah. Hello to the Tita Lenials and the Tito Lenials.
Favorite ko yan, Tita Lenials.
What do you buy most often? What's your favorite Tita Lenials product?
Rain Love the Hakaw.
Ako meron akong parang, di ba yung Dongbei may dumpling na parang filled with chives and pork? Parang putchay. Parang yun ang favorite ko kala Johan. It's the best.
Sarap din yun.
Oh, yeah, that's what I love to eat. And you just boil it, and then when it starts to float, it's ready to go.
Rina loves the siomai with truffle mushroom.
Social naman yan, truffle.
Social yan.
Social.
Nakataas pinky niya pag
ako rin. I should order. Well, we live in the same village, so I'll order soon. Pero, okay. Perfect Strangers, background. When was this first shown? And where do you remember watching this?
Woo!
What channel?
I was Channel 2 na. Channel 2.
9 kaya to.
9 ba?
9 to.
Oh my God. Can't remember. Basta, My problem was I was a lot younger than yours. I don't remember. And I was living in Cebu. So,
bakit? Wala bang kuryente sa Cebu?
At that time kasi yung mga channels nila, yung let's say Channel 7, Channel 9, tsaka Channel 2, one
regional.
week delayed.
One week
delayed. Oh,
yeah, regional.
Grabe. So, ito, reaffirmed by Richie Dio, the Channel 9, yung mga old sitcoms.
Channel 9. Ano nga
Channel
pala,
9.
no? Para you were in Cebu, and I remember I would watch Channel, and this was like back in the 90s ba to? 80s to? Parang 80s nag-start eh. 80s nag-start to kasi nung Beverly Hills Cop, nandun si Bronson Pinchot, kilala na natin siya. Si Balky yan eh, nasa Beverly Hills Cop. Di ba? So 1980s pa to.
Late siguro.
Or we have gotten which came first, a chicken or the egg. Baka nauna siya sa Beverly Hills Cop, sumikat siya, tapos pumunta siya, nakasya sa Perfect Strangers. Something like that.
But si Cousin Larry, never heard from him again, no?
He appears in some... He does voice work. He does a lot of voice work.
Okay.
Because he didn't age well. He wasn't like the most good-looking guy. Diba, with this? Look at that hair. bigla siyang lumalabas sa ibang series. Puta, si Cousin Larry yun. But he's very highly regarded in Hollywood. Para siyang siyan. Even Mark Hamill, di ba? Hindi naman lumabas na naging artista si Mark Hamill. But Mark Hamill was doing a lot of voice work.
Yeah.
So, same thing with...
I think is one of the best.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yun. So, para wait, what's the name of Cousin Larry? What's the name of his actor?
Was it something Appleton? Oh, no. His name is Larry Appleton. I forgot.
Appleby! Oh. Kawawa naman.
Pero I Perfect Strangers is one of I love the theme song.
What was his theme song?
Hanapin ko sa YouTube para i-play ko. But
Rich, here's the thing, no? The beauty about not having Netflix or even internet or even DVDs when this was on, everyone watches at the same time. And when except for you because you were 1 week late. But kami sa Manila. But more or less everyone in Cebu was watching at the same time. Everyone in Manila. And the next day, you'd all be talking about the same thing and you'd all be doing the dance of joy.
Yeah.
Diba?
Da.
Parang lakas ang dance of joy na yun hanggang ngayon. Anyone who watches, ang unang memory nila sa Perfect Stage yung dance of joy ni Balky, no? Tsaka yung first action of Balky.
Gulat ako that may GIF. Di ba I sent you the GIF?
Oo naman. Why do you think Stranger Things was such a big hit? Because all the Gen X people were watching it for all the 80s references and all the kids, Gen Z up to were watching it just because it's a creepy thing. Di ba?
Yep.
That's why it's the biggest Netflix hit ever, maybe. Tsaka sikat na si Sino si kalbong babae? Sikat na siya ngayon.
Si 11.
Oo, si 11. Parang sobrang sikat na siya. I think siya yung pinakasumika doon. Oh yeah, oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, that's so 80s.
Parang one of my favorite.
No, I love that. I'm gonna watch it on YouTube after this. But yeah, I love the intro.
I love that one. I love the one of Growing Pains. I love the one of Cheers.
Oh, Cheers was
where one of everybody knows your name.
Ngayon kasi wala na di ba? Ngayon parang wala na halos intro pag manood sa Netflix. Parang 10 seconds lang. Well, Perfect Strangers was an iconic show for us. And for the younger kids lang, ang equivalent, ang kasabay dito parang naalala ko Alf eh.
Alf, yes.
Alf, oh.
Yep. Alf.
So that was it, yeah. Okay.
The ones you wanted to mention, Spanks. Few of the older ones.
I just want to say, yung Three's Company was on Channel 7, and for that generation that watched Charlie's Angels, the original, this was on Sunday night. And Sunday night was family day. And after a family day, pero yun, I remember we had a small TV, dining room. Sa dulo ng dining room, we had a table. And that's where our TV was. Maybe that was the size of our TV. Di ba? Small colored Sony Trinitron TV, maybe 12, 14-inch TV. And the whole family would watch it. E tapos tuloy-tuloy na yun. So, from Charlie's Angels, we had out Brales, Farrah Fawcett, Jacqueline Smith. Kaya ako naging ganito eh. Or our whole generation. You'd watch Jiggle TV at while having dinner, and then after dinner, you'd watch a sex comedy, Three's Company, about a guy, a lecherous guy, and his even more lecherous friend, living with two hot babes who didn't wear bras either. And that was my childhood. And wala namang rating system dati, di ba? So, everyone was watching this, parang Charlie's Angels, pagkasunod, Three's Company. Kaya medyo poing! Oh my God. Kaya ganun kami lumaki. But this was the first sitcom that I remember na...
Yeah. Actually, ako din. Because my older sina Raquel, more kaedad mo si Raquel, di ba?
Yeah.
Yun. This is something they really love Three's Company. And in different strokes kasabay yan di ba?
Hindi, after na yun. Yung Three's Company, pare, sabihin ko lang Tagalog na, kalibugan to, puro to.
Si John Ritter was comic genius din yan
Yeah, he died too young, and he was he was the star of TV during that time.
Yeah.
Siya talaga yun. He was para siyang sino si Ant-Man? What's his real name? Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, yeah.
Siya ang Paul Rudd nung panahon na yan. Si John Ritter. Right? That was him. Literally, he was Paul Rudd. Nice guy who was not really that
Boy next door.
Boy next door who really like women. And ito yung Three's Company lang kwento niyan. Yung kwento niyang palagi may kadate si John. Kasi yung kwento nito, hindi na nga politically correct. The reason why they were allowed to stay in one unit, in one condo, kala nung landlord siya, he was gay.
Yeah, okay.
So whenever Mr. Roper or Mr. Furley would come around, he would do the whole gay thing. Which was, back then, okay. Now would get you kicked out even of Netflix, right? So it was very politically incorrect. But during the time, back in the 80s, this was this was really great TV for us. And then, come on, it was at the time. We cannot cancel it because, ganun yung panahon dati. Diba? And that was the whole story. Then he would get caught sometimes with girls, and sometimes bigla na inaayos yung book ng girl, inaayos yung bra ng girl. Yun yung story ng Three's Company. Sus, Joseph. Ay, nako. First sitcom. That for me, yun yung unang sitcom na namulat yung mata ko. Hindi lang sa sitcom, sa mundo.
Wow.
At saka sa kalaswaan.
So next? Yeah, medyo mas wholesome naman, di ba?
Tapos after nung kalaswaan, parang maging ito naman yung naging gusto ko. Nung 80s kasi parang it was all family-oriented, di ba? And Family Ties was a show that really was about the family. But ang sumika dito si Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Diba? And this is what catapulted him into the role of Marty McFly. And he became a big, big star after this. And what was his other show? He had another comedy that ran for a long time. Spin City. So he had two great shows. But Family Ties was iconic in the 80s because it was there were several Growing Pains. Siguro the two best family shows were Growing Pains and this. Si Growing Pains yan, di ba? Si
Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron, so Marty McFly. And who was the dad?
Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke, whose son became a pervert singer who stole a song from Marvin Gaye, right?
You want it? Yeah.
Yeah, who stole songs. But,
may isa pang family, comedy.
Who's the boss?
The Cosby Show, The Huxtables.
We grew up watching that, no? But now, just to be very clear about it, parang feeling ko hindi na pinapalabas yun kasi it ran for a long time.
I mean, not canceled, but kung saan man lumalabas sa streaming noon, tinanggal na.
Tinanggal na, no? Then it would be whenever we'd go to, I remember you'd switch on the channels, yung alanganing oras, yun yung filler nila. Cosby Show.
Yeah,
diba?
Cosby Show.
Sila Theo.
Great comedy, but sorry.
Then 30 years later, you find out that all the time that he was America's dad.
America's
dad. At the
same
time, he was like, punyata, he was drugging women, di ba? Parang ganun yung style niya.
Perfect.
Nagigising na lang sila. Yeah, he would, wow. Wild.
You think he
so
knows
we love the Cosby Show, but actually, hindi mo na mapanood eh. Di ba? Dahil perfect pala itong hayop ka, Dr. Huxtable, pervert Huxtable. Puta, rinurufi mo pala yung mga pasyente mo, punyeta ka, gago. What a shit, man. And so Family Ties is Michael J. Fox, obviously, became a star because of this. And next, speaking of which, ito na panood ba to? Ito ang Channel 2.
Actually, ito, hindi ko na naabutan. Ano na lang,
this was,
napapanood ko na lang siya sa bloopers.
This came out around 1981. Around 40 years ago.
Yeah, this was early 80s talaga.
80s na to. Kasi, here's the thing you should remember here. Ito, ang kwento nila, kaya you can see there on the screen that they're dressed in women's outfits. Ito naman, si Peter Scolari at si Tom Hanks, kaya sila nakadamit babae. They needed to find a place in they live in New York, no? Kailangan nila ng rent-controlled place na mura. And they found a condo that could only accept women. So this is like Tootsie in Dustin Hoffman's classic Tootsie in many respects. So the whole premise of the series was they were dressed as women, tapos nahuhuli sila. Parang si Jack, di ba? Si Jack nahuhuli, bading pala si Jack. Jack Tripper was his name in Three's Company. And si Tom Hanks, then there was this really, really hot chick. Donna Dixon. Google her. Oh my God.
Asawa ni Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, really?
Naging asawa ni Dan Aykroyd.
So Donna Dixon was the hot babe and there, yung parang ito, very mababaw na sitcom yung sasabihin. Maganda yung premise, di ba? Pero ang ganda ng and you could tell early on that Tom Hanks was such a good actor because you believed. You felt for all those scenes with him relating to Donna Dixon. Tapos yung ang pangalan din Kip something, si Tom Hanks. Alala ko to. Because Donna Dixon would have this erotic voice. Parang ASM, Kip.
Very
airy na. And it's like, always moaning whenever she'd say it. And she was beautiful, bombastic, bodacious blonde girl. And Tom Hanks and we could tell, parang magaling tong si Tom Hanks, diba? And not too long after this, he did Splash with Ron Howard.
Yeah.
And never looked back.
Yep.
Then he became Tom Hanks not soon after. And
big, diba? Big, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Those are those, siguro yung isang topic natin, best Tom Hanks movies, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
We can do a Tom Hanks episode, but I would always start with this because this is how, dito kami namulat naman kay Tom Hanks. So I've been watching Tom Hanks for 40 years.
Grabe, no? Holy crap.
Yeah. And then, parang si Tom Hanks has had this 40-year winning streak.
Yeah.
Very few flops. Diba?
Spanks, we have a question from one of our readers, from one of our watcher viewers, si Leroy Waddington.
Hi, Leroy.
It's me again. Have you seen Mayor of Easttown yet?
That's my current favorite show, Leroy. It's on HBO, and it's being shown here in the Philippines as well. It's this year's Succession. Let me just say, HBO has the best shows, Simon. Everywhere, every year. They have this one gut punch of a show that'll just take over the conversation. And they had it in Watchmen for 2019. The year before, Succession. Mayor of Easttown starring Kate Winslet. It's a small town with a murder mystery, with a lot of everyone seems to be keeping a secret. And
who done it?
And her sidekick is Quicksilver from the MCU. Oh yeah. But he's playing a young detective here. Si Quicksilver, yung unang pumasok from Sony to the MCU from WandaVision. Sabi ko, familiar yung mukha nito. Guys, for those of you who are not yet into it, if you have HBO Go or whatever they call it, Mayor of Easttown, let me just say, is the best series, the best new show on HBO right now. Maybe the best all over because HBO has still a cut above the rest.
Okay.
Hanapin mo, Rich. It's so good. It's almost like a dark comedy. It's very violent. Well, not that violent, but still very violent, very bloody. There's a lot of family comedy here, but there's something for everyone. And every episode ends at a cliffhanger. Ang galing. And Kate Winslet, oh my God, Tita Kate. Amazing. Amazing. Ano siya eh, pare, she's got big boobs. She's really got big boobs. I think they got bigger over time. Kasi pala, ano dito, parang she's like a sloppy, schleppy detective. She's living in a small town in Pennsylvania. No, she's an American. Yeah, she's playing an American. Perfectly with a Pennsylvania accent. And most of the time, she's wearing an old sweater.
Okay. I saw the preview, but I didn't watch it
so yet. Good. Ang ganda ng story. I mean, first 5 minutes you're drawn in. Episode 5 is on Monday. I think it's Leroy 7 episodes lang yata to. So it's short and sweet.
How about the Canelo fight now?
No, I missed it. I downloaded it legally. I'll watch it. I'm too preoccupied with the NBA games. But yeah, I downloaded it. It's on my queue, actually.
All right. So
thanks, Leroy. Yeah, but Mayor of Easttown. Holy shit.
Hello.
Wala ka bang ano? Hi, Raph.
Si Raph B. Good evening, mga sir. Thanks for joining us again.
Ikaw, Rich, wala ka bang honorable mention?
Meron, next.
Next ka. Sige, ako muna pala.
Medyo ano naman tayo eh. Medyo
tugma?
Medyo tugma naman tayo eh.
Okay. Sige.
Arrested Development.
Yeah. Now, you probably know that's you know him more now in his current Netflix show.
Si Ozark.
The Ozark. Hindi yung favorite ni ni Matthias Kope.
Yeah.
Okay. But who knew that this guy would be such a good actor kasi ito yung start niya. And Arrested Development was for me had the best writing of any series.
Talaga.
And the funny thing was parang ang konti natin nanonood sa Pilipinas I found it so hard to look for people who could talk about Arrested Development. Di ba? Ayun lang, di ba? Well, kaya tayo magkaibigan eh. Pero parang konti natin. Diba?
I gotta show you something.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There's always money in the banana stand.
Michael Bluth. Tsaka ang daming sumikat dito, di ba? Ang daming sumikat sa Arrested Development. And sino
Job.
ba to si...
Favorite ko si Job. Michael Cera.
This is one of those shows because 3 seasons ba to?
No. So parang it was 3 on network TV and then another 2 yata on Netflix. Something like that.
Is it on Netflix now? I have this on DVD.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Here, sa Pilipinas, hanapin ko to. Kasi this is one of those shows that you have to watch from the very first episode.
Kasi minsan naka-VPN ako sa
Pare malamang wala to sa Netflix. Kasi kung nasa Netflix to, bininge ko na to. Oo.
Check ko.
Malamang binabola mo ako. Malamang sa Netflix America to. Pero ano ba to? Was this a CBS show? Because if this was NBC, tatanggalin na to sa Netflix. Kahit sa America, wala na to.
I forgot what it was. Oh.
Yeah, but it's a show about a rich family and all of the crazy characters there. Watch it from the very first episode of season 1. It's wow, very absurd in many ways, but it's one of those shows that will really draw you in. If you love crazy characters, oddball characters, and situations where you have to ride the show. Hindi pwedeng if you just want generic sitcoms, there are a lot of those. But if you want a sitcom that will make you really fall in love with crazy characters in real life, but at the same time have the warmth of a real family and the conflicts, this is the show for you. Jason Bateman. Who knew?
Yeah. For me, I agree with you. kay Jason Bateman ako na surprise na ganun siya kagaling sa comedy. Because yung comedy niya is more subtle eh. It's the small nuances of his that are just hilarious. And
then he became
we knew that David Cross is funny as Tobias, di ba?
Of course,
I love Job. Job actually si Will Arnett. Sikat yan as a voice-over artist eh. You hear naman his voice, di ba?
What was Will Arnett's show after this?
He had a show with the girl from Felicity.
From
the producers of Arrested Development as well, but hindi pumatok.
The guys, if you can find the Arrested Development, please watch it, and then you will fall in love with the final countdown. You will discover it. But whenever you see that, narinig ko pa lang yung it's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Oh man, Will Arnett, man. What a cast.
We have si Rina yung partner ko manood ng Arrested Development. We have Jason Robertson advising us to buy Bitcoin.
Oh.
So
parang parang si Trixie Bugia. Oo.
Tapos si Leroy naman 000. Have you heard of that?
Yes, that's my favorite show during the first month of the pandemic.
Si Mark, paring Mark may linalabas na hinanakit.
Spanky. Ano na
naging remote din ba kayo? Yes. Richie, palitan mo nga yung channel, lagay mo nga sa channel 2. Wala ba?
Anong remote? Naging remote. Oo naman. Hanggang ngayon.
I'm with you there, Mark. I feel your pain. I was there.
Saka na yun. Pero pag mag-isa ka, ang remote control mo, yung paa mo. Oo. Pag nansin yung magulang mo, kayo ka.
Problema ko hindi ko labot.
Kaya ka dapat si Mr. Fantastic.
So your another one of our honorable mentions, Community.
Yes. I would actually say that it's Community plus Parks and Rec. Same producers ba to? Kasi parang for me, magkadikit to eh. I was watching them at the same time. Parang whenever I would watch Community, ang next kong papanoorin, Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
Parks and Rec was from the creator of The Office. So.
Yes. Yung Community, I don't know kung alam ng marami, but that's where the Russo brothers got their big break.
Yes. And
so,
who's the guy from Atlanta? The
singer
putangina, hayop yung talent.
He was the best. No? He was the best.
Which is why in Civil War and Winter Soldier, you can see many of the cast members of Community because of the Russo brothers. Parang imagine, they were doing a sitcom and then holy shit, then they just took over the MCU.
I was making that kwento to Rina, when Marvel was looking for, they weren't too happy with Age of Ultron, diba? So they were looking for someone to take over the reins from Joss Whedon for the Avengers. They realized that the comedy pedigree of the Russo brothers, having come from Community, and they proved with Winter Soldier that they can do action, was one of the reasons why they were handed the reins of Infinity War. And
ano nakita ni Kevin Feige sa kanila that
ang galing, no? Ang galing.
Parang magaling mag-spot ng talent si Kevin Feige.
I gotta hand it to him. A lot of people say he's a jerk or whatever, but so far he's been making the right decision. So but Community again. Ako kasi I'm a 2 or 3 season guy. Pag feeling ko, I've run through all the possible storylines. I'm good. The first 3 seasons of, like, for me, Arrested Development, Community, and even Parks and Recreation. Parks and Rec, doon naman sumikat si Chris Pratt, di ba? Yes.
And mostly written by Tina Fey as well. And it just goes to show that you never know where all of these stars will come from. Tom Hanks came from a sitcom.
Yep.
The Russo brothers came from Community. Jason Bateman, who's now one of the best writers and directors in Hollywood, came from Arrested Development, right? Michael J. Fox. So, importante yung sitcom. So, it's something that you have to keep alive because it gives you a certain discipline, especially in the old days that you had to have 22 episodes. It's so hard. But it's so hard to write jokes. Mas mahirap yung sitcom sa drama. Di ba?
Totoo.
Mas mahirap, oo. And so that's why the Oscars, I feel, are a bit stupid because they never really recognize comedy in Best Picture nominees or even for writing. It's hard. And it's hard to deliver a joke, a punchline. It's hard.
Totoo.
Di ba?
Robin Williams, came from Mork and Mindy.
Yeah.
Di ba? Anyway.
Yeah.
Next. This is mine naman. That directed ko.
Oh, yeah, of course. Turtle.
Yeah.
Turtle!
Oh, yeah! Entourage. Ito talaga. I always described it as the male version of Sex in the City.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Diba? It was really you've always, I don't know about you guys, but I've always dreamt of having that movie star lifestyle, what it would feel like to be rich and famous without swiping your card, without having to look at the price tag. Parang ganun. And this gave us a glimpse of what that fictionalized version now of what it would be like, and the ins and outs of Hollywood as well. No, how
who was the producer? Was this Mark Wahlberg show?
Mark Wahlberg, yeah. Mark
producer,
Wahlberg.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
inaabangan ko to sa HBO, pare. Di ba? This was an HBO show.
Right.
Right? And this was a long time ago, man. When was this? 15 years ago? It's a while back. Oh! Malamang.
Or at least 10 siguro.
Oh, kasi alam mo, 'di ba parang joke nila na gumawa silang Aquaman movie. Tapos wala pang Iron Man noon kaya we were so fast. I was watching that Aquaman season, which it was the story point for a long time. Kasi wala pang Iron Man noon.
2004.
Oh, see? Oh, this was way before. That's why I was so fascinated by it.
Yeah, actually, di ba yung joke nun, ang gusto ni Turtle is that when they asked him how much he was hoping it would make, memorized niya basta $1 more than Spider-Man. 115 million, basta $1 lang.
Ano to? Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man pa yun that time.
Sam Raimi.
So the other one, Spanks, that was Sex in the City. Sorry, the slide is naglolo ko, so I can't show it.
No, it's okay because we're talking about Entourage, and Entourage is exactly the men's version.
Exactly.
Ako sabihin ko lang sa Sex in the City, it really helped a lot for any. I would advise it for any young man or not so young man. If you want to understand women, the best way to do so is via sex. It's like parang bird's eye view. Parang fly on the wall. Di ba? How do they talk? They talk about our sexual performance. You think they don't? They do. They talk about our privates. Oh my God, whether or not how we smell. Ganun pala yun. And totoo yun. That when I ask my friends here sa Philippines, ginagawa niyo ba? Oo nga, ano ba pinag-uusapan? Kala niyo kayo lang bastos. Hindi ba? But I never watched the movies na kasi gusto ko ng ending kasi idol ko si Mr. Big.
Si Rina loved the movies. For some reason, never got around to watching the series.
Really?
Yeah.
Iba talagang asawa mo. Medyo talaga siya.
Alam mo naman yan.
Ano siya? Innovator. Disruptor.
May question lang from Leroy. Wagyu Mafia, he met Wagyu Studio. Any good? He watched the video on my vlog.
I'm so jealous of that.
Leroy. It is delicious. I think it was one of the best dinners I've ever had. Amazing quality meat. I just have to tell you, it is quite expensive. If you have money to burn, by all means. But it is very expensive. So
it is very expensive. I agree.
It is very expensive. So but the quality you will get is unreal. So yeah. So we're gonna be moving on, Spanks, to.
So there you go. Rich, tanong ko lang, did you ever watch Sex in the City? Another HBO show?
No, not the series.
Why not? It was really good show. Well scripted, well delineated, great characters.
I'm assuming it's because I thought it was really for women.
No, it wasn't. That's exactly my point. You would think that it was like a chick flick version,
right,
of a comedy. It wasn't. And I remember, ito very, very vivid memory to. Noong kasagsagan ng DVD sa Quiapo, this was around 20 years ago, right? Or maybe 15 years. The number one selling series, which they would get all of these flip cases, was Sex in the City. Because by then, since he had an 8-season or 5-season run already, parang ganun kahaba yung CD. Ibabari nila sa cling wrap. Kung benta ng Sex in the City and the other shows that were selling so well back then, and people would buy the whole season, so like 5 or 6 seasons of Sex in the City in one go, and the other seasons they would buy Band of Brothers. Alias was a big seller back then. Wow. But Sex in the City, I would surprise. You'd go to any house around 15 years ago and then they have the whole Sex in the City collection proudly displayed. So I know a lot of people are watching it.
Ano yan? Astrovision.
Kaya po ako anong Astrovision? Kaya po pinag-uusapan ko.
I'm trying to show na legit tayo.
Legit naman yung Quiapo
Okay, sige. Okay. So So ang ano natin is these are amazing sitcoms from the West, di ba? Dito naman back home, ang favorite sitcom of all time ni Spanky is, of course,
kaya naman ikaw dyan, magsumikap ka.
Ako naman, Chika Chika Chicks.
Siyempre.
Okay.
Bakit? Kasi yun yung Charlie's Angels. Yun yung walang bra.
Kasi ito yung kukwento ko na
Sige, kwento mo. Mabatukan ka ng asawa mo.
Hindi, this involves her nga Crush ko kasi si Carmi Martin, yung bata ko.
Yeah, my God.
When I saw Carmi Martin for the first time, I was a child, and I just thought she was incredibly hot. Yung parang first crush, diba? Even up to now, if you see her, she's still.
Oh hot. Yeah, absolutely.
This is the funny part. Rena's aunt is a very, very good friend of Carmi Martin. Mm-hmm. And then Rena went to Korea with her sister. The aunt followed. And then while they were in Korea, they said, let's meet up, diba? Let's have dinner. So they met up in Korea, and apparently part of the entourage of the tita was Carmi Martin.
Okay.
And my wife, syempre, had to tell her, alam mo, crush ka ng asawa ko nung bata siya. And I guess she was used to it, diba? So, parang ganun na lang siya. I guess she's used to hearing men having crushes on her, diba? So,
pero ito ngayon ko napansin, ano ang connection ng John and Marcia sa Chika Chika Chicks?
I have no idea.
The first movie of Carmi Martin, and this is what catapulted her into stardom, she was in a movie called Dolphy's Angels.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And Dolphy's Angels, obviously, was a jiggle fest inspired by Charlie's Angels. So it's all, our story here is just one long story that you can just connect the dots. Who were the other girls in Chika Chika Chicks? I know it's Maria Teresa Carlson, the late Maria Teresa Carlson. Who was the other girl? Isa pa
Sheila Israel.
No, later na bata si Sheila
Si Lorraine Shock, tama ba?
Ba yun? Baka Lorraine Shock. Hindi kasi ang lakas na dating si Maria Teresa Carlson, di ba? Siya yung Kung yung mga hindi na nakakaalala or masyado hindi pa kayo panganak, ang Petra Mahalimuyak nung unang panahon ng Chika Chika Chicks was basically Maria Teresa Carlson.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And she,
It's a good one. Yeah.
she looked like a doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, and John and Marcia ran for like 20 years, man.
And ang trivia dito sa which I just found out when I was trying to find a picture of it. The what's the name of the lead? Si Chiki something, di ba?
Si D.O.M. Di ba si Freddie Webb? Freddie Webb was the other guy.
Sa Chicks to Chicks, di ba? Pero sa original one, the maniac guy, si D.O.M.
Chiki, I know his name's Chiki. Oh.
Chiki something, di ba? Oh. He was known to be ang habol niya, he was a maniac for Kiss. Which gave Maniakis.
Ganun ba?
Oh, that's where the term Maniakis came from this show.
Oh my God.
Kasi maniac siya para sa Kiss.
Wow. Wait, so una pa yung Chicks to Chicks?
Una yung Chika Chicks yata.
And then it became Chicks to Chicks? Ganun ba yan?
You know, I'm not sure. So, chick.
Para ano to? So sa Cebu, 1 week late din to.
Oh, 1 week late, yeah. Bro, Leroy is asking, how about the night of you? The night of. Have you heard of that?
Yes. That was like 2 or 3 years ago. That's very who was the guy there? One of the lead guy is John Turturro.
Yeah,
Rich. That's a very heavy show. Very, very
heavy. I'm
heavy.
amazed that you have the time to watch all these shows. Talaga.
HBO loyalist ako eh. And HBO, for decades now, every Sunday, meron silang blockbuster. Game of Thrones for 8 years. Yeah. And all the shows we're talking about, we're all Sunday night shows. They own Sunday nights. That's why ang water cooler moment sa buong Amerika, Monday morning, HBO show. Yeah. Diba? So after you watch football, you watch HBO. And that's up to now. Ganun ang habit. So Mayor of Easttown is now taking over the slot.
Okay. So Spanks, are you ready to talk about your top 5 shows?
Na-distract ako sa Chika Chicks. Pare, alam mo, crush ko na si Carmi Martin eh. Pero yung una ko nakita si Carmi Martin, pare, ano talaga. This was the first time na nag-googly. Kumunin yung mata ko talaga.
At least mata mo. Oo naman.
Grabe.
Wednesday night.
At saka maganda siya.
Maganda talaga.
Oh, tsaka hindi siya...
Night, iniintay ko yung Tonight with Dick and Gory. Para lang sa dance number ni Carmi Martin. Sinatsaga ako yung...
Pare, sabihin mo na talaga, idol mo si Roderick Ashley Paulate.
If there's anything...
Remember Carmi Martin, ang pinauso niya, tanga? Remember that? She was in a high-cut tanga. I didn't even know there was a something called a tanga, and then that really exploded because Carmen Martin wore tanga for seasons, for whole, and everyone, all of us wanted to watch that part of the show. Fuck you, Roderick Paulate, cheap version of Rick Ashley. But we're here to watch Carmen. Get out of there.
Yep, I gotta.
Oh my god.
I cannot argue with that. Carmi Aldo.
Yeah. Carmi Aldo, yeah.
Okay, so now are you ready?
Who's first? You or me for the top 5?
You.
Sige.
Top, salitan tayo.
Sige.
5, 4, 4. So, number 5 for Spanky is
30 Rock. Ooh, Tina Fey.
Ako,
again,
before you go on Spanky, I gotta tell you, I've never watched 30 Rock.
No way.
Never watched it.
Yeah,
I mean, I've tried. Hindi ko masyado masakyan. Because I don't like Tracy Morgan. He annoys me. Totoo. He annoys me talaga. That's why.
Si Tracy Morgan para sabog lang eh. Di ba? Kasi nauso yan. There were... Sino yung ka-level ni Tracy Morgan nung panahon na to? This round. Again, around the same time as Entourage. No, not Martin Lawrence. He was really good at stand-up. He's really good at stand-up up to now. Pero medyo nag-mellow na siya today.
Dave Chappelle.
He was there were 2 icons for me after the era of Eddie Murphy. it was Dave Chappelle and Tracy Morgan. And when I found out that 30 Rock was here, that you had number one, Tina Fey, whom I still have a crush on up to now. I think she's the smartest, wittiest, best Oscar host, best comedy writer, really attractive. And Alec Baldwin. Wala eh. Yung chemistry ni Alec Baldwin at ni Tina Fey, kasi boss dito ng head of NBC actually, because this was like some sort of a reality show, was Alec Baldwin. Yeah, so they had their headquarters in the 30 Rockefeller Center building of NBC. And there were a lot of cameos from other NBC shows. And you know, NBC was like the home of all the great sitcoms of the past 20 years. And we just have to, from Seinfeld to Friends to Frasier, everything was in NBC. So 30 Rock was pretty iconic. And to make a show about the network that was making all the shows was really pretty brilliant. Tapos ang galing ng writing talaga. Then si Tracy Morgan, parang siyang he was playing some sort of Dennis Rodman character here. Walang sense. Papatawanin ka lang niya for like 2 minutes. And it was just really, he was like the Dennis Rodman of the show. And in real life, he's pretty much Dennis Rodman as well. but really good writing. And I just have to say, all of these shows that are in my top 5, I watched them from end to end, from episode 1 of season 1 to the grand finale. Because sometimes shows will peter out, like towards the last few seasons. But dahil sobra kong mahal itong mga show na to, and most especially the characters, pinagtyagaan ko yan. But I think 30 Rock up to the very end was good for me. It was really good. So if you can find the time, once we have Peacock here, or you can find it on your VPN, go to Peacock. I'm sure it's there. 30 Rock, number 5. Mainly for Alec Baldwin, and absolutely the writing by my crush.
Okay. So ako naman, my number 5 is, I don't have to dwell too long because if you watched before, I already said it, is Schitt's Creek. So this is what
we had a long talk about Schitt's Creek. Parang bigyan nasa top 5 na talaga. You really love it, huh?
I loved it talaga. I just feel that I do feel that it's the show that we need right now, especially with it's a great way to show acceptance. Diba? That I love how they treated LGBTQ characters, the storylines, like it was human storylines. It wasn't a gay problem. It was a problem. You know what I mean? It just showed a very loving, quirky, accepting story that despite hardship, how family, the importance of family, how love can bring everyone together at the right time. And I don't know if you remember the episode where yung lumabas sila sa dinner, and then he saw his rich friend, and then si Roland, diba? And then that was for me ang ganda ng moment na yan, na parang he doesn't have much, but he still gave whatever he can. Yung friend ning isang tawag, ning isang do you need help financially, walang ginawa, ganon. And then syempre Chrissy Elliott nagsabay with I was just talking about the coupons. Diba? But yeah, I loved it, from the writing to the I found the casting to be spot on, considering I was never really a fan of Eugene Levy. I always
surprised. I've loved Eugene Levy ever since.
Talaga, I think I always found him to be the annoying neighbor ni Steve Martin or something like that, diba?
Wasn't he the dad in American Pie?
He's the dad in American Pie. So
doon ako simpatiko kay Eugene because he was such a good dad in American Pie. Imagine
exactly.
That's when makes love to apple pies, diba?
Oh. Right. Like warm apple pie.
Warm apple pie, baby.
Yeah, and so kudos to Dan Levy, writer and director din.
Yeah.
Galing.
At saka this show got better with every year.
Yes, I agree.
Huh?
I agree.
It really got better with every season.
And si Moira became a gay icon. Became a drag queen icon. They dress up like her talaga. Ang galing. Yeah.
Well,
So,
where can people watch this now? That's my question. Where if you want to follow, if you want to catch up,
uh,
VPN
VPN. It's on Netflix US.
or
It's
VPN.
on so you got to VPN it,
But I don't
unfortunately.
know. Let's see. Let's talk about VPN for 2 minutes. It's not illegal,
No,
right?
it's not illegal.
It's
Not
not.
illegal
So
naman.
if you have the technical capability, and
No,
it's a good bargain.
I
Kasi
agree. Yeah.
with VPN, magkano binayad mo? Yung ano,
Para 3K for the
two
next
years.
28 months. Yeah.
And you can watch everything from all over the world. Like you can have Netflix from 20 countries, di ba?
Correct.
Ganun yun eh.
Correct.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So
You
if
get
you
a
can get
Google Plus.
VPN, do so. Lalo ngayon, medyo mabagal pa yung vaccine. So hanggang end of the year pa siguro tayo may panonood ng mga maraming TV, streaming, mag-VPN ka na. By next year, okay na tayo. Pero ngayon, marami ka pang panahon sa bahay.
Exactly.
It's a good investment. If you're looking for something to spend your 3K on, huwag ka muna bumiling Starbucks, huwag ka muna bumiling sneakers, bumili ka
Oh,
ng
tsaka
VPN.
3K for 2 years.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Diba? So that's that's super sulit.
Yeah.
And not
So
to mention,
sad
no, your IP address is masked. So um your you can't get spoofed, you can't get it's harder for them to hack, trace. So protection mo rin 'yon.
Okay, VPN guys, just what does VPN stand for?
Virtual
Place of nothing?
Let me
Pakisabi nga, mama. Kunyari, expert tayo. Hindi mo na...
virtual private network. Yan, gusto ni Spanky yan.
Kasi like ako, di ba? Palagi sinasabi
Maybe
ASMR. Then I keep
my
forgetting
VPN.
what does ASMR stand for?
Oh, no idea. Audio.
I use it every day. Auto sleep monotonous recording. Parang ganun.
Oh, you won't believe it. Autonomous sensory meridian response.
See, that's why I can never memorize it. But I know exactly what it is. I just don't know what the acronym stands for.
Yeah.
Okay. So VPN, guys, that's your virtual private network. Yeah.
So Spanky, your number 4 is Scrubs.
Scrubs. Oh man, I love Scrubs.
Ito rin.
Did you ever watch? No way, really?
Yeah, I'm telling you. This was showing kasi before yata in Jack TV, di ba? So I would see bits and pieces of it, but I never was.
This is one of the last shows that I followed on cable.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, baka nasa Channel 9 pa to. Because Channel 9 always had all the good US shows, right? Whether they're dramas or Channel 2 for a while. But I still remember maybe Studio 23 when that was still around. Baka, no? Oo. But it was not on one of the major, but I was watching it every week. And there's something to be said about watching it because you get to do it. This is what the MCU is doing now with all the Winter Soldier, Falcon, WandaVision. Maganda yung hindi ka nagbi-binge eh. Kasi na pag-iisipan mo sila. And you're thinking about them during random moments. You absorb it and you start making your own fantasy worlds and sit in plot lines about them. And when the show comes, and there's this anticipation that you look forward to a Sunday night or a Thursday night. Pare masaya ka buong araw eh. Puta tonight, I'm gonna watch fucking Scrubs, you know? Right? Which you can't, I mean, Netflix has its charms. Binging has its charms, but there's something about anticipating a sitcom, looking forward week after week. And I'm pretty sure what your number one show is. And that was my relationship with your number one show, which essentially is in my honorable mention as well. But Scrubs had that because over the course of 4 or 5 seasons, when it was really, really good, you could see the character. It was very much like Schitt's Creek. Kasi nakita mo yung cast would start to learn how to work together. And they were really treating each other as a family. I love watching their reunion videos that you can see on YouTube where they talk about ang galing, sobrang galing. And so this is about a group of 3 young doctors and their mentors and all the crazy people. And yung pinakabida pa dito, the most sensible character to watch was a nurse, a Latina nurse, right? And yeah, it's so good. Really good acting, really good scripts, really good cast, and everyone had a definite character to play. So yeah, my number 4, and I think this is also NBC, right? So this should be in Peacock. Alam mo, pare kung kunin mo na kung may time ka, mag-Peacock ka. Ang daming all the best sitcoms are there. My gosh. Right?
Yep.
Whew. Okay, Scrubs, number 4.
All right. So ako naman yung number 4 ko is That 70s Show.
Oh, wow. Laura Pepon. Woohoo! Woohoo!
If you think about also all the stars that came from here, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Laura Prepon, si Wilder Valderrama, si Topher Grace. Diba? This was also
was it Laura Prepon or Prepon? Laura Prepon.
Yeah.
I'm very much I'm very much a redhead fan, pare.
Yeah. Naman. And I just love how they captured the era. I love how they captured the era. I love how they incorporated the music. And their chemistry together was just really fantastic as well. All of them each had their own style of comedy that represented the 70s really well. Diba? Ang galing.
Stoner. Sino yung Stoner? Yung naka-afro na guy.
Si Hyde.
Yeah.
So
and Rich, the parents were good, huh? The parents were an integral part of the show.
See, so that's another thing. Who would have thought Clarence Bonniger of RoboCop, the villain,
yeah,
was so adept at comedy. You see him with a constant scowl on his face, but when it's his scene and there's a comedy scene, he doesn't crack a smile or anything. Yeah, but you find yourself rolling around in laughter talaga.
Yeah.
Because of his stoic face. And the mom.
And he had a really, really affecting relationship with his kids. Ang galing niya sa mga bata, di ba? It was very real. And those are sometimes, kasi puro joke. Pag nasa basement sila, non-stop yung jokes, di ba? Pero pag akit ka, nandun yung sa sala ng nandun yung bambda. Pag yung conversation sa parents, galing.
Galing.
And then ang balance ng show na to.
The mom was fantastic as well, diba? She was in WandaVision.
Yeah.
So, yun. So, my number 4 is That 70s Show.
Oh, man. And obviously, wait, kwento ko pala sa'yo. Alam mo ba't ako nag-start bumili ng Maxim magazine?
Bakit? Laura Pepon.
Kasi Laura Pepon. All of a sudden, she's on the freaking cover of Maxim. I mean, half naked. Holy shit!
Naman.
That was my first Maxim magazine. Maxim US to. Kaya mahal. 300 pesos. Pero binili ko. Then, eventually, Mila Kunis was on Maxim.
Yeah. It's not Maxim or Stop. Basta, magkapatid naman yun.
Yeah, Maxim or Stop. Holy shit.
Like I was telling you, I just cleared it out. I had a blast from the past. A while ago while I was clearing out the old magazines, and the reason why I decided to let go because luma talaga eh. I was telling Rina, alam ko may apo na mga ibang cover girl dito eh. 2003.
Anong ginawa mo sa kanya? Tinapon mo lang?
Basta binigay ko sa driver ko. He said he's going to give it to give it away or something. I don't know.
Donate natin sa gumata yung community library.
Oh, well, bottom line, Rina wants it out of the house. So I go, wow, Rin, now that marami akong space, can I get more magazines? Sabi niya, subukan mo.
But I think I still have a bunch of those. Di ba ikaw naman yung porn body ko, pare. So I can still share them with you.
Then I told my brother, before I gave it away, tinanong ko muna sa brother ko if he wants it because the last time I did that, sabi niya, give it to me na lang, I want it. So
Yeah.
I called him up and I asked him, Ray, do you want my old magazines? I'm gonna throw it out na. He goes, the ones you gave me from before is still stacked up in the attic. I haven't been able to go through it, so I'm gonna have to pass this time. So yun, so we gave it away.
I have to Google that later. Yung Laura Prepon, Maxim or stuff, whatever. When she was on the cover, my goodness.
Yeah.
Tapos ano rin, Rich, while we're in the topic before, sorry, but you brought it up. I blame you for this. Melissa Joan Hart. Remember her?
Sabrina.
She was on the cover of stuff or Maxim, whatever. Medyo ako, naguguluhan ako. Wait, I see you guys so wholesome every week. Why are you doing this? Let me buy that copy. Okay, number 4, 70 show. Love that show.
Sige, number 4 is number 3 of Spanky is Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Alam mo,
again, I haven't watched it.
Diba? Larry David is the co-creator of Seinfeld. You know that, right? Like, basically, Kramer was, he would appear there. He was, sino ba siya? Sino yung head ng Dodgers? Siya yun eh.
Steinbrenner. Dodgers.
Yeah. Yankees, sorry.
Yankees.
He was the voice and the back of his head with the wig, of course, of George Steinbrenner for the whole time Costanza was working for the Yankees. He was Steinbrenner, diba? And that was such an integral, a focal point of the show as well. And these days, if you are a follower of memes and you're a millennial, and because again, this was an HBO show which never really gained traction here in the Philippines. I don't think it was shown here. Hindi to kinere ng HBO Asia. She had to find a way to watch it simply because, ito paling gunggong na gumagawa ng Seinfeld. He wrote majority of the episodes. He co-conceptualized with Jerry himself. And this is very much a Seinfeld show. It's the mirror image, or if you're going to do a backflip of a coin, if you're going to toss a coin, it's the other side of the coin of Seinfeld. All the comedic notes are there. All the absurd situations, the crazy characters are all there, and that's basically he's really playing himself. That he was a very successful TV writer, and eventually, nung nagka-reunion show, there was one season, I think season 10 of Curb. They put up a Seinfeld reunion, so everyone was there. Kramer was there. Elaine was. They were playing themselves, huh?
Yeah.
So Elaine Benes, who is now, what's her name now in the MCU?
Madame Hydra.
Madame Hydra was there, of course. Costanza and Seinfeld, they're all there. So ultimately, nagdikit siya. So Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm in
universe,
in real life, naging isa siyang Seinfeld Curb Your Enthusiasm universe siya. And if you like Seinfeld, you have to watch this. You have to watch this.
For those that aren't aware, siya yung directed by Robert Weed na.
Yeah. So yung nakikita yung sa mga, diba, si Harry Roque may ginawang kapalpakan, diba? May sinabing mali. Or si Duterte. Joke lang po yung sa Spratley. Yun yung closing credits ng Curb Your Enthusiasm. So if you like that, you might like the show. It's not for everyone, I have to admit. It's really not for everyone. But if you like Seinfeld and something, I don't call it mean comedy, but really absurd comedy without a conscience. Maybe that's it. It's comedy without a conscience. Curb Your Enthusiasm is it.
So yeah, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
So,
napakadalas nga na natin. Ikaw kasi di mo pinanood itong mga favorite ko.
No, but galing nga because once based usually tayo dalawa may overlap, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Ngayon, one lang yung overlap natin sa top 5.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I know. Sorry. Which is up. Sorry, I wasn't able to change my. Di ko na palitan yung picture. Sorry, kasi 'di ba may error.
Okay. So ano number 3 mo?
My number 3, I will skip because of the said overlap. So I will discuss it with you when I open up yours.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. So we can move to my number 2.
Right. So we'll move on to your number 2.
Well, Seinfeld. Yeah.
Which great straight tuhog. Oh, by the way, si Richard De Yuda sabi niya, sana all daw may porn body.
Importante sa buhay yan. Huwag natin pagkakaila yan. Kailangan may porn body ka talaga.
Don't underestimate.
Yeah. And porn body is a term from the great British sitcom called Coupling. And in season 1, episode 1, Coupling was the UK equivalent of Friends in very many ways. And in the very first episode, yun nga, sinabi ng isang character, yung parang Joey Tribbiani ng Coupling, sabi, you gotta be my porn body. You gotta be my body. If I die, you gotta go to my house before my mom gets on my porn. Do I get to keep it? Hindi man yun, what if you die? No, do I get to keep your porn? So you get everything, all the movies, all the DVDs, all the magazines. So, yeah. So that's porn buddy. So that if you die, all of a sudden your wife or your mom or whoever, your family will not see your stash. Porn buddy. Okay, Seinfeld. Seinfeld was the great American sitcom of the 90s.
Yep.
Dalawa yun eh. There was another which I'm sure you'll talk about. But you can't talk about the 90s without talk because magkasunod sila sa NBC eh.
Right. Ano yan? Must see,
diba?
must see Thursdays.
Must see Thursday. And that was what I wanted to talk about earlier. Kasi the world would stop. And I'm talking about the era from nung kasunod niya yung favorite show mo that started in 93. Diba? For a 5-year period from 93, because Seinfeld ended in around 97 or 98. For 5 or 6 years, that was the Thursday. People would not go out on Thursday, or they would go out to drink after 10 o'clock or after 9 o'clock, after these shows are over. Kasi kasunod pa nito, Must-See TV was ER. Yeah, so there was a 2-hour comedy block from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then ER with Clooney was still there, would go on at 10 p.m. So you wouldn't really go out. You'd be stuck. You'd have 2 hours of the best comedy. And Seinfeld was really groundbreaking because a lot of the tone of the comedy that we see now, a lot of even the camera angles, the no laugh track, si Seinfeld talaga nag-umpisa niyan eh. And even the characterization, yung medyo cynical yung mga tao, hindi na sila yung generic na nice 1970s. It was really a step back or maybe a complete 180-degree turnaround from all the nice people that we loved in the 1980s. Diba? The fake Dr. Huxtable, the fucking pervert. Diba? Family Ties, Growing Pains, all of these shows. Hindi ko nga masali dito kasi I can't really say it's a comedy. But my favorite show, I think, for all of this era was Wonder Years. But Wonder Years wasn't really a sitcom. It was more of a drama and comedy, dramedy, and that was also pretty groundbreaking. And it's something that we'll talk about in a future Rawr, I'm sure. But Seinfeld for me is something I watch on, alam mo yung early days of Sky Cable? It was on a channel on Sky Cable.
Yeah.
It was the same channel as Jeopardy. A really good, diba? The best channel on Sky Cable. Alam ni Jane Chua yan.
Alam ni Jane yan.
But that was a channel where they placed all the great US shows. Jeopardy was on every day for like 6:30 p.m., right? Tapos Seinfeld was on at 9 o'clock, and since pahabol na to, every day yung Seinfeld. Pare VHS days pa to. I would tape this on VHS in case I missed it. And then eventually nagka-DVD. So my very first DVD box set na legal hindi galing Quiapo, Seinfeld. Which I still treasure up to now kasi puno ng sitcom, ng special features, directors and cast commentary. It's still there, but I don't know how to play it now. Wala na akong DVD player. Meron ka ba DVD player? Wala na.
Wala na akong DVD player.
I'm looking at my home theater setup now. Wala na akong wala na akong anong tawag doon? Physical disc. Wala na.
Wala. What pinoproblema nga namin ni Rina yan because I do have a lot of original yan yung binili sa ano yan Astrovision. Sa Astrovision. And like here right behind me I have down pala sa whether it's Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, the Transformers, yung Batman na DVD na may mask pa.
Yeah.
Di ba? I bought all of those. And yun nga.
Pero ang unang tinapon ko na talaga lahat was VHS. Because I had a lot of VHS.
Yeah. VHS talaga.
Yeah.
Wala. Kasi even if you have it now, in all likelihood, may amag na yan sa loob.
Tsaka yung mata mo hindi na sanay. Parang yung mata natin pang Ultra HD 4K na eh. Diba? So if I see a DVD na, even watch yung DVD parang VCD na sa akin yan. Hindi ko mas ma-take. Diba? Kailangan na Ultra HD 4K. Tangin ng Netflix yan. Sinira yung natin. Masyadong tinaas yung standards. Diba?
Yep.
Oh man. But yeah, Seinfeld, I watch it from season 1 all the way, and there's so many great moments in this series. Great moments. Mm-hmm. And for Gen X, there like I said, there are 2 great sitcoms. Richie will talk about the other one later. I'm pretty sure that's your number 1.
Oh, yeah.
And no, I'm sure you and Rena, it's your number 1. But this was so close. Hindi ko maisip na mag-exist yung isa without the other. Di ba?
Yeah.
And that's why people fell in love with New York. Because of these shows. This show was like the dirty, mean side of New York. That other show was like the lovable, ideal side of New York. Ako, parang nung huli kong trip sa New York, anong yung una kong pinuntahan? Yung bahay nung favorite mo. Nakita mo na ba yung exterior shot?
Oo.
Diba? Did you ever go there? Diba? Siyempre, oh shit, it looks exactly the same. That really is it.
It's funny because sabi namin ni Rina, we both had the same feeling na parang, I can't believe you can get starstruck with a building.
Yeah. I was starstruck.
Starstruck talaga.
Ako may hawak ako pizza eh. Ngumungi ako pizza. New York style. Naka-fold. Ngumungi ako. Ano? Diba? And that was we were part of that building for 10 years. For a long time. Man. Yeah, so Seinfeld, I hope you discover I just have to warn people, a lot of the humor here can now be considered politically incorrect. Times have changed so fast.
Yeah.
Oo. Kaya ngayon si Seinfeld, may mga comedy stand-up shows sa Netflix, parang hindi na bumibenta yung jokes niya. They fall flat. Right? This was a time capsule. It's still very funny, right? But people now who watch it, even when I listen to podcasts, they say, what the fuck is this show? Diba? Well, honey, you lived through many different eras of comedy, right? And they all contribute to what we have now. So just don't think that just because you laugh at certain jokes now because you can exist now, but there was a time when we could watch something that could be considered insensitive but feel that we were not going to be part of the insensitivity. In other words, we were not freaking cupcakes.
Yeah. Exactly.
But ngayon kasi lang pare, oh my God. Jesus.
I'm offended.
Christ. It's a freaking joke. It's a sitcom. So Mariosep, cupcakes, corn na snowflakes.
Wala ka bang CD-ROM sa mga PC?
Wala na.
Ako din eh.
I'm looking at the side of my wala na.
Wala na.
Wala, USB port na lang. Wala na. Ang CD player ko na lang for physical media is in my car.
Okay. At least.
So doon, pag gusto ko makinig ng CD, kotse. Pero ngayon, tamad ka na rin kasi may Spotify na sa kotse mo. Wala na.
Hindi ba, Spanks, iChannel? Yung sa Sky, wasn't it iChannel?
The iChannel was educational. Yun yung educational channel na. Doon yung mga maraming may matututunan ka. But I remember iChannel. It was something else.
Okay, so it's not the one
Alas
we're
Jane
talking
Chua.
about. Last.
No. But I remember iChannel. Yeah, it's Jane Chua should know.
Sige.
Because Jane Chua has
Okay,
been
so
working for Sky Cable for 25 years.
most loyal employee.
Baka nakikinig eh. Congratulations, silver year, Jane Chua.
Ako naman, bro. My number 2 is our whole universe is
Oh my God.
The Big Bang Theory. Bazinga.
Tinapos mo to? Tinapos mo hanggang ano?
Oo naman.
Dulo.
Oo
Wow!
naman. So, at first, I thought I wouldn't like it. But then, because I thought it was more on the Brainiac stuff, no? But then when I thought it was going to be about, quantum physics. And then when I saw it was about nerds and comic books and pop culture references, I said,
And it's basically our show now.
Exactly.
It's exactly what we're doing right now.
Banter.
Without the girl.
Without the girl. Without Penny. So, yeah, from the, like I said, the pop culture references, the cameos that were there. We have Mark Hamill,
Spock.
Stan Lee,
Spock.
even Spock, and even James Earl Jones,
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher. So I just felt that I would be remiss if I missed this out. So definitely the Big Bang Theory would be up there for me and my all-time favorite. In fact, Rain loves it. Rain,
this would work with kids.
Yeah.
I mean, Rain's, hindi na kid this yun. Medyo early, young adult na yun eh.
I don't know if you remember the scene in the ball pit where goes Bazinga, where the first time he went Bazinga, where he was jumping around they were chasing each other in the ball pit.
Yeah.
When Rain was younger, I would just play that and she would just crack up nonsense. Again, Daddy, again. Bazinga. Sinasabayan pa niya. Again. So, yun, from the start to the end, especially in the end, did you watch the finale?
Hindi pa eh. Di ba sabi sila, like, minsan, 4 seasons okay na ako. I'm happy with it. I'm good for this. So.
I liked how they ended it also.
Pero I read all the recaps of the ending. Oo.
I love how they ended it, especially parang it took, for someone that intelligent, how it took Sheldon that long, how he can solve math problems in a matter of seconds and all of that. But it took him what was it, 10 seasons to figure out what he was doing wrong as a person and why his friends to see him how his friends see himself and how he can be obnoxious and self-centered. Finally he realized it. So galing how they. And
this show is still alive because Young Sheldon is one of the more popular
sitcoms
right now on broadcast TV.
I just started it itong pandemic. It's one of the ones I'm watching now.
Oh, ano yan? It's one of the top 5 shows in the US, I think.
Yeah, it's good. Chuck Lorre is really naman.
Yeah. Wait, my memory of Big Bang Theory is I was watching this at the same time as How I Met Your Mother. Sing magkadikit.
Yeah.
Diba? Puro magkadikit for me yan eh. How I Met Your Mother, ito, tapos Community at saka Parks and Rec, and of course, my 90s favorites. Ikaw, were you watching this concurrently with How You Met? I found it very similar. They would be a good one to watch.
As much as okay naman sa akin this is what I was gonna say. Okay sa akin yung How I Met. I started How I Met before Big Bang. Oh. But and without a doubt, has its moments, brilliant moments. But I always found it a little bit overrated.
I know why.
Why?
Because it's a takeoff from your number one show, in many ways.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly, and for some reason they always compare. They always compare. Exactly.
But you're right. It has its moments. We're talking about how I Met Your Mother. But
Right.
the ending sort of sucked. Ito yung pinanood ko yung ending because I was just, maybe you're gonna do it well. But again, I loved it because Robin eventually became a Shield agent.
Yep.
Part of the MCU, and good on her.
I know. For me, I think Neil Patrick Harris comedy genius was showcased talaga to the fullest.
It was his show, legendary. It was his show.
It was, and because I can spit out a whole bunch of Barney Simpson lines, but I can't even remember the last name of Ted. And the reason why
I hated Ted. Parang he was the most vanilla character.
Ted. But the reason why I remember Ted is because of Barney going up to women and go, "So, have you met Ted?" And that's how I remember. That's how I remember, Ted. Diba? So it was. I agree. It was really Neil Patrick Harris' show, and he made it what it is.
Alam mo yung si Ted kasi, parang ano yan di ba, pag nung days of piracy tsaka Betamax, di ba, yung mga film transfer, copy ng copy. If you recopy an analog tape for maybe 10 times, so magde-deteriorate na yun. Yung first copy mo, si Ross. Yung 10th copy, si Ted na yun.
Yung first mo si Joey, ngayon si Barney na yan.
I know. Yeah, but Big Bang, man. This is wait. So Big Bang, when did it end? Like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, around like that. Just not too long ago.
See, did you watch Penny's show? It was really the flight attendant.
No, is it a show? A show?
7-episode miniseries, a limited series.
I thought it was a movie.
No, find it in your VPN. It's
I'm allowed to catch it.
Seriously, the reason why I was watching Big Bang, I had a big crush on Penny. Gandang-ganda ako sa kanya. Di ba? Kasi
naman.
Para yung mukha eh. She's very sexy, but at the same time, innocent. Di ba? And good soul, di ba? And she was very sexy without trying to be sexy.
Mm-hmm.
But in The Flight Attendant, holy shit.
Okay.
She's just, wow. I know you're gonna watch her. Yeah, sobra. Lahat ng frustration mo na, para sana naman si Penny magpakita ng bra. Ganun. Yung big title, Flight Attendant, I think it's the name. It's a flight attendant, pare. That's all she does. She just shows her boobies all the time. And it's a really good story, huh? It's a really, really good concept, really smart, very inventive television series. One of the best of 2020.
Sige.
You have to watch it. And it's Penny in all her glory. Whew. Maybe even better now. Yeah. Whew. Grabe, Penny.
Are you ready for your number one, Spags?
Oh, let's ready for number one because I am a big fan of The Office. This was my... If there's one show that I've seen over and over again so many times, and my biggest regret is it's not here on Netflix Philippines. And I think I'm not sure if it'll still be carried, but for the longest time, for the past 5 years, it was the number one show most streamed on Netflix. Because for some reason, like we were talking about Seinfeld doesn't translate to Gen Y or even to millennials.
Yeah.
The Office, for some reason, gustong-gusto ng mga bata, kahit Gen Y, kahit millennial, Gen X, of course. This is our story when people still could actually work in an office, not just fucking work from home. And you miss this camaraderie. You miss a little bit of the office politics, the sniping, the backbiting. But there's a real affection that develops. And that's what I miss. Actually, what I miss most, and maybe that's why I have such a high degree of affection for The Office. I still, although I love being my own boss, but I'm essentially a freelance guy. So I don't have to work in an office. I miss working in an office. I don't really miss working in an office, but this really endears me because I really remember all the good and bad about the office, my office work. And more than that, the relationships that I'm very close to so many of the people I've worked with past 2 decades when I was in my corporate life. And Michael Scott is one of the greatest characters in television history. Greatest. And The Office was obviously based on Ricky Gervais's 2-season, 12-episode run on the BBC of The Office. But there's a big difference here. See, what was his name there in The Office?
David Brent.
David Brent. David Brent was a mean guy. He was just the mean guy all through the 12 episodes. Di ba? Wala siyang simpatya. But just a little bit of trivia. In the first season of The Office, when it was first picked up in 2005, 6 episodes lang. Kasi they were just trying it out, bababang ratings. And what they did and they had really low ratings. But in season 2, sabi ng creators nila, let's make Michael Scott not just a better boss. Maybe still be a stupid boss, but let's make him a better human being. And that's what got people watching. And everyone fell in love with Michael Scott. And everyone fell in love with Jim and Pam and Dwight and Angela, Oscar. The rest is history. It's my number one favorite sitcom ever. I can just pop it in and watch 1 or 2 episodes. And actually, that's what I did during the pandemic. I just para just to feel nice, para wala ka masyadong
looking for a safe, remembering, put yourself
safe
in a happy place.
Safe haven, a good vibes. And you didn't have to work your brain too much kasi alam mo na yung mangyayari. You just want to hear the good. And every episode had a good joke. Every episode had a really good story to tell. There was always a kurot sa puso every 1 or 2 episodes. And the best character exit ever, maybe in any show, was the ending when Michael Scott had to say goodbye. Puta yung episode din, pare. When I watch it now, hagul-gulo. Hagul-gulo talaga kasi. He was saying goodbye without saying goodbye. Only Jim knew.
Yeah.
That he was leaving. And that scene where Jim went to his office, nafe-feel ko. Yung when Jim went to his office, tapos yung nagtitingin lang siya, oh my God, that tears me up, man. That tears me up. It's crazy. And then sinunod yung nasa airport scene nila ni Pam. Oh! Such a good show. I just love this show so much. And
but unfortunately, after he left, no, medyo nag-downhill na.
Oh, pinanood ko lang once. Then I just want to find out what happened. Yeah. But start with season 1, end with season 7. You're good to go.
And if you can watch the last episode at least, to that cameo we were talking about.
Actually, hindi ko pa na-download. It's here. I have it. Kasi dami ko mga naka-save lahat sa mga hard drive. Siguro yung hard drive ko, puta, 1 dosen. I don't know where to find it. It's somewhere there between all the porn.
Okay. So that's your number 1.
Yeah, that's my number 1 for life. I love this show.
That was my number 3. That was my number 3. I really, really was a huge fan of The Office. It's a slow burn.
How did you discover it?
My cousin had a shirt that said Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Oh.
And so I asked him, what is that? Oh, it's from The Office. You gotta watch it. The next thing you know, I get it. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Na-intriga ako. He goes, oh my God, you haven't watched The Office? You have to watch it. Lo and behold, when I went to the States, I bought the same shirt.
Oh. Ako, yung kwento ko dito, kasi the UK version of The Office was pretty big. And then they shopped it around for a couple of years. That's around 2001 or 2002. It took around 4 years before it finally became The Office in the US. So I had the UK DVD from Quiapo, special DVD. The first 2 series, as they call them in the UK. Well, the only 2 series and the 2 Christmas specials. I loved it. Kasi si Ricky Gervais, di ba kung Gen X ka, may kanta si Ricky Gervais na naging iconic. More to Lose, di ba? So, may connection ng Pilipino kay Ricky Gervais. Sabi na, this guy is David Brent.
Dito lang yata sumikat yan eh.
Dito lang. You know, if pag wala nang pera si Ricky Gervais, pupunta dito, mag-concert sa Araneta Coliseum.
Yan ba nung bata ko eh.
Oo. He will just sing More to Lose 20 times. So, concert na yun. And so I had
tired of thinking that we
yun yung sana. Nakakapagod na sa'yo nung 80s, pare. Yung mga new wave na yun. Nakakapagod. Pawis ka talaga. Hindi yung parang para si John
Parang na rin eh.
Man, more to lose. Anyway, so yun. So I was aware of it and then biglang pumutok yung office kasi 40-year-old virgin. That's the story there. Kaya when 40-year-old virgin came out, which is between season 1 and season 2, everyone watched season 2 and they locked in Michael Scott and they said, we have to make Michael Scott a character not unlike the 40-year-old virgin. And that's how it, up to now, still a big star, right? And Jim is now one of the hottest new directors. He's a freaking action star. Jim Nerd Halpert, office dude. Diba? Fucking Jack Ryan is Jim. So ito lang. Yeah.
Jim Mindy Kaling also made a name for herself.
Oh yeah, everyone here. They're still the best writers in Hollywood up to now.
Yeah.
Alam mo, Toby was a writer. Did you know that?
Writer. Si Angela was a writer.
Yeah, they're all writers. And the top, if you look at the top podcasts on Spotify or Apple, two of them are podcasts about The Office. One is by Kevin, and the other one is by Angela and Pam. Ganon yung lasting impact ng Office.
I listened to a few episodes of the one of Angela and Pam.
Oh, wala. I listened to the episodes tapos I look for my Office. Oh nga pala, kaya ngayon yung pinapanood ko yung cruise ship. In the cruise, the booze cruise.
Ako naman yung hotdog fingers.
Oh, diba? Yeah, there's guys, if you have not, I'm sorry. If you're in the States, it's on Peacock now. It's off Netflix. If you're in the Philippines, wala nang DVD. So VPN ka na talaga. There's no other way to watch it. I will not promote anything illegal here because I'm not like that.
All right. So
yeah.
For me naman, my number one sitcom, no surprise.
I wonder what your number one sitcom is.
My wife and I usually cannot go a day without watching an episode of Friends.
Yeah.
It is my all-time favorite sitcom, and I gotta say, it's something that got me interested in film and production.
Really?
Yeah. Really,
how?
As in writing, I wanted to become a writer, a comedy writer. So from there, I wanted to shoot because the things that I wrote. So my cousins and I would talk about the equipment, what we would need to edit, parang ganon. So it helped awaken my love for production. Prior to that, I honestly wasn't really into film. But once I watched Friends, for some reason, it felt like an extension of me. You know what I mean? It felt like I was part of this group. I was, diba? Like I want to know what's next. I want to make my own version of this. If I were to make a series or a show, this is what it would look like. Parang ganun yung na-feel ko talaga. So it really inspired.
Ako naman, totoo kasi muna na nakilala kita, parang yung humor mo, yung sensibility mo, parang kang Friends.
Yun na nga.
You're like, you're a summary of so many, including ugly naked guy.
I walked right into that one.
I know, matagal na nakabulsa yun. Pero ano yan, parang yung sense of humor mo, nasa kanila lahat, di ba?
Yeah. Well, especially in the early days of it, you don't know how many times people would say, I remind them of Chandler because I'm so sarcastic.
Oo, yun. Pag tayong dalawa, Joey tayo pareho, di ba?
Pinagtatawanan ako ng asawa ko.
Oo. Pag nasa public tayo, kunyari, Ross tayo, di ba? Pero pag mag-isa ka, Chandler ka, pero pag yung nag-uusap lang tayong dalawa, wala, Tribbiani.
Pinagtatawanan ako ng wife ko na, I may be ugly naked guy, but I'm your ugly naked guy, okay?
Every night, baby. Every night. Ugly naked guy is on his way after this podcast.
Yun. So, yun.
Si Rina, anong favorite ni Rina sa Friends? Sino siya dito? I mean, who can she most related among the three ladies?
Rina, sino daw? Sino daw favorite mo? Do you know who she reminds you of? She's very Monica with her OC. She's very with her OC.
Yep,
you don't know how many times I've moved something around the house and sinigawan ako because I don't know the system.
But I've seen signs. Pag may staycation, nakikita ko yung feeling ko nga you really are Chandler because she can push you around like Monica. And you're being pushed unwillingly, of course.
I'll be honest, di ba? I'll be honest. Something that I realized that works best sa amin ni Rina is that when we started off, I was the bully. I was the bully in the relationship. I was the dominant one talaga. And parang it couldn't really be helped because we started off together na ako yung boss sa kanya sa work eh. Diba?
I know. Yeah, I
diba?
know.
So, we parang it felt like the natural role. But then as we progressed, yung parang I learned to make atras in order to let her, how do you say it? In order to balance us both out.
Yeah.
Because she felt like she was, I wanted her to be more assertive. But every time she would try to assert herself, I would be the dominant boss again, diba? So she felt okay, atras na naman siya, parang ganon. Realizing that ako yung dapat umatras, let her be the amazing woman that she is. Works best because I know how to play my role naman na I know how to share the spotlight.
No, and I have to say, your life is so much better for it,
Exactly.
That she's tempered you, that you've learned how to step back.
Exactly.
Hindi ka na boss pare siya na yung boss.
Exactly.
Yun lang yun. Exactly.
Yan, Richie Bing daw ni Hans.
Anong ending ng
Fausto. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Hans. One of the best photographers in the Philippines.
Food photographer. Extraordinary.
Malay mo, may ginagawa siyang nature studies. How natural. How natural. Malay natin. Kasi pinapakita naman ni Hans yung food shots na napakagaling niya. Pero syempre kung food shots, you have to have progression, right? Still life. Nudes.
Favorite Rina is Ross.
Obviously, Tribbiani ako.
Ako din, Joey.
Diba? No. I was just like, my favorite interactions were always between Chandler Bing and Joey Tribbiani. My favorite Friends episode ever is the turkey, the Thanksgiving. Yung I know. Ako nakikita ko pa na yung picture, naisip ko na kasi stupid. Di ba? Makakaisip lalagay yung turkey. Si Tribbiani lang eh. And that was a perfect ending. Sinunod ni Monica yung turkey. Really damn good. I love that episode. Sino yan?
Di ba?
17th show. Kasali ba yung sa usapan natin? Pare,
nahanap ko si Laura Prepon mo.
Oh man, I'm gonna look for her and Sabrina, the teenage witch later. Thank you for making me spend thousands of pesos on glossy magazines that haven't been opened in 20 years. Ay, nako.
Right.
Wait, pa-picture tayo with our sponsor.
Oh, sure. Okay. Ready. 1, 2, 3. Where's my finger there? Yan.
All right. Thank you very much, Jill. Alam mo si Jill naawa sa atin talaga, no? Kasi parang napaka-ramshackle ng ginagawa natin na to. Tapos, ano pa naman, ang daming nanonood, may following kayo. Sana naman ayusin niyo naman yung gamit niyo. May ilaw na kayo. Magandang microphone. Jill and Oliver, thanks so much for taking care of us. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jill.
Yeah. We'll put this on. Ito, lalagay ko na yan. Tapos, ang dream natin, Rich, mapupuno tong likod natin ng mga logo.
Yun. Yeah.
Diba? Para kunyari sikat na tayo yung show natin. May mga sponsored.
So for those out there who's looking for
placement. We're not asking for money, guys. We're not asking for money.
Yeah.
But if you want to send drinks or food, we'd be more than happy. Di ba ganyan kayo sa ano? Kamusta pala? I just have to ask you guys. How's Siligang? Are you back on my Spotty?
So we changed. I know that from kung ano yung gamit ng tripod noon, we moved to Anchor. And
okay.
So I don't know if it's up already, but
wala pa eh. It's still gong sipatsay.
That's why that's why we took a break this week. Kasi dami namin nakabangko na
Pero ano pa ba? Pero sa food naman kasi medyo evergreen yan, hindi naman maluluma yan, di ba?
Although our latest episode, we were hoping to get it up right away because we were talking about that Norwegian chef.
You have to get it up right away.
I know. So
yeah. Kasi next week, next week wala na, iba na, maybe yun.
Okay,
Alright. Si Bodoy na naman yung pag-uusapan natin.
Wala, ano yan. Block na yan. Sila ni Trump.
Kami ni Anton, by the way, on Saturday, we have our regular show here with Rawr Hours, supposedly. Well, we'll be back next Tuesday. Ito lang, nung Tuesday lang, may shooting kami sa advertisement lang sa Vikings, sa MOA. Beautiful place, beautiful sunset, and it's still the best bang for the buck buffet for me in town. Alam mo yung ginawa ko
ng style, Spanks?
Pila.
Kanya-kanya.
Social distance. Ganun. Yung chef ko. Baka ano siya. All the stores or all the stalls or the stations are behind plexi.
Okay.
So you have to ask and then they give it to you. So walang direct contact with the food. So may mga konting butas dito in between the partitions and that's where you get your food. But it's still the same, unlimited, etc., etc. Like for example, yung favorite ko sa Vikings, parang drinks.
Oh yeah.
So you can still get, ito kasi, pwede ka pa rin mag-unlimited beer. And you can watch the sunset while drinking San Miguel beer, ice cold.
Ako naman yung Four Seasons nila, ang sarap.
Oo. At saka parang tinira ko nung kasi init di ba? Parang Milo, naka-4 na baso ako Milo.
They also have, di ba yung watermelon agua fresca?
Wala lang nung nagpunta ako nung Tuesday, wala nung tamarind juice, which is my favorite. And I couldn't drink beer because parang yung Milo, ang sarap ng timpla, parang it transports you back to childhood. Then you get it in a glass, it's full of ice. Oh my God, ang sarap ng Milo nila. Hindi ako makakain kasi puro nabusog ako sa Milo. Tanga. Anyway, kami ni Anton on Saturday, we'll be talking about how to maintain relationships and build respect between influencers and restaurants and chefs. You know why? Our good friend, the most controversial figure of 2020, will be coming back online on his birthday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Then, nag-usap kami. Sabi ko, pare, ayusin mo na yan. Huwag ka namang manggago parang last time, di ba? You've taken a year off and hopefully that you come back better. Yeah, that's why without mentioning it, I think people know, and I wish him all the best. I mean, you've learned your lesson, di ba? Nakalaboso kang 1 year and sana ayusin mo na kasi pwede ka naman makatulong di ba? So yun ang topic namin sa Saturday. Good for him. I hope.
Yeah, honestly, you don't want to wish bad on anyone. So
we don't.
Hope that every bad experience you hope becomes a learning experience. So
yes, well said. And
right.
Until such time, I think we can end it there. And if you have your old magazines of stuff, Maxim, FHM, we will start planning our community library.
All right.
Yeah. Saan ko pwede bigay yung mga yun?
Ewan ko sa kanila, basta pinapanan na ni Rina kung she doesn't want it in her household na daw. Kasi,
pero parang may value yun. Mabigat yung mga magazine na yun.
dude, as in, I know it's not a really impressive measure, but halos ka-height ko na yung stack.
Holy shit, man. That's like 10,000 pesos worth of magazines right there.
Oh yeah, easily.
Diba?
Although admittedly book sale yung mga iba, so mga
kahit na.
Kahit na. That's still 200 at minimum 200 per issue.
So next week, balabang NBA pag-uusapan natin. No?
All right.
Hindi, pero guest na natin si Abet para makapagbagpag ng tayo.
Sige.
Paalam na natin kay John. Gusto ko yun. Top 5 love songs.
Di ba?
Tapos may guest speaker tayo. Woohoo! Tony Bartlim, I will message him now.
Sige.
I-markan nyo na sa kalendaryo. Ikalabing 8 ng Mayo. The love song episode. The mellow touch episode.
The mellow touch.
Tangina.
You are
Galingan.
the minstrel.
And I'm your guitar. Ganun ba?
All right.
Oh man, on that note, I can't wait for your Photoshop.
Gagawin ka naka-Barry Manilow. Naka-Hall & Oates tayo. Yun.
Ooh. Pwede.
All right.
Well, sige. Everyone, thanks for listening. There are 2-hour mark has been reached and breached. Thanks for everyone for listening and see you all soon.
Take care, guys.
Jill, guys, if you want gadgets, one gadget.
There.
Beautiful mic.
There. One gadget.
Okay. Hi, Suzette from Canada. Suzette from Canada.
Lazada.
Hi, Toronto. Bye. Mike Kumare. See you next week.
Thank you. Bye, bro.
Bye. Good night.